Good morning, everybody. My name is Cod6, and today I have my Gunsen build. Gunsen is my favorite weapon, my favorite melee weapon in Warframe, and I had a lot of struggle finding a good build. You probably just want to see my build. Trigger warning. My build includes a riven. We're gonna get to my riven later on. Here what this build does. First of all, I'm also showing off some builds without a riven. So if you don't care about rivens, don't worry. There's also going to be 2 variations of builds you can try out yourself that doesn't include a riven. Also, I have a potato on this weapon, so my mod capacity is doubled, and I spend 3 foremost on the weapon. How this build works. First of all, before we get into using Blood Rush and actually getting to use the crit damage I have on my riven, we have a viral build. So, when we hit the target to increase our combo count chance, we will have the sweet combo of viral and slash and condition overload for the extra spice. Then, when we reach about multiplayer 6, 7, Blood Rush is kicking in, and of course, we will do a lot of damage. So, I really like this build because, of course, it's a hybrid, it's a combination of crit and status, and before you have a lot of combo counter, this build will be mainly status, and then after multiplayer 6, it will become a status crit hybrid, which is a lot of fun. And the second build I'm going to show, or which I'm showing right now, is just some mod variations and a little bit more range. 250 melee damage will carry this weapon pretty hard. Yes, it does. The critical damage, 160 critical damage. This carries the weapon also pretty hard. Yes. If you want, you don't have a riven, right? But I also want a little bit more of range. Well, I got you covered, fam. If you really, really need or want mass status chance, you can take out drifting contact for melee powers, and if you are really brave, you can take out primed pressure point to put in primed reach to give the Gunsen a 4.7 meter range, which this weapon really needs. Your range is really pathetic. It's sometimes really lucky if you hit something with this build, like 2 enemies at once. So if you have a riven like this with critical damage, melee damage, good luck, then you can 100% make this build. But if you're not, you can just take this out and put in Organ Shatterer. Both of these works. Organ Shatterer, of course, please be reminded I'm using Arcane Strike. It's not a maxed Arcane Strike, but I am using an Arcane Strike. I'm also using Rising Storm. And I'm also using Ash for this because of this. I just want to show the potential of this weapon. This weapon also shines in the hands of different frames, but if you have any frame with like an ability to mob all the enemies into one tight space, this weapon is really amazing. But you can also use this just with Ash. And then we use our 4, mark all the enemies. Then we use our 3. And while doing this with Rising Storm, you see in the bottom right of the screen that we regain combo count chance. So if you want to quickly raise your combo count chance or combo counter for Blood Rush, I like to play Ash for this, because now we are on a 12 multiplier. And if some enemies survive, we can just kill them with our crit chance now. And if we are even fast enough, we can summon them again. And we are still on 12. This is the 12 multiplier. You see what I see here? This is the hybrid build. And we are missing the range. We're only hitting one enemy. You see here. We're not lacking the attack speed. We are lacking range here. So when we go over here, I'm just going to get rid of these real quick. And there we are. This was the build I've been using. And now you probably copy this build and you think like me, I want a little bit more range. No problem. We're going to try. This is basically the same build, but we're sacrificing some overall damage for reach. And we have melee powers now. Of course, if you don't like melee powers and you want the combo count chance, which I actually think is a little bit better, you can put on drifting contact for the combo duration and also status chance. Same thing, I summon all the enemies, and then again, I'm just gonna do this to reach combo counter of 12. Gonna help my bros out real quick. Of course, this takes a while, but you can't get killed while doing this, so you can just slowly build your combo counter to 12 multiplier, and you can get killed by doing this. So, why not do this? Especially in Steel Path, you can just do this real quick and really safe when an Acolyte shows up and kill the Acolyte with the 12 multiplier. So this is the 12 multiplier with the bonus range. You see, we finally hit more than just one enemy, and we don't need to stay inside of the enemy to even hurt them. You see, most of the time we hit more than one enemy. Of course, I'm pushing them inside of me and away from each other, but we're still hitting a lot of enemies, and of course, takes them easy down. But now I'm gonna show both builds again, but without the 12 multiplier. So if you don't play Ash, this is what you do. There we are. We're gonna start again with the hybrid build. And I'm gonna show off my Sevagoth. Sevagoth doesn't have any grouping abilities without having any combo multiplier. Just gonna focus this enemy, and the enemy's already dead. And this guy just got hit like sometimes because I was strangling around the enemy. We're already at 6 multiplier. Let me just go back down to 0 real quick. Actually, heavy attack. There we go. And now we are at 0 again, and you see, even if you do this way, we're already at 6 multiplier. And then we can just do heavy attacks to go back down to 0. Oh, oops, that killed someone. I actually didn't meant to do that. Oopsie. So we can just... Whoops. Sorry. We didn't get higher combo multiplier than 6, so... And we're already shredding through these. We had 3, we had 5, because we had 2 enemies at once. Oops. And then we had 7. So you can even use heavy attacks with this build. But that was just the normal build, right? That was just the my hybrid build, which I like to prefer. Let's go into the range and status build. And of course, no companion. But we do have Arcane Strike on all my frames. So please think about that. Now we have the status build with bonus range. And of course, combo multiplier is going to rack up way faster because we have more range. And we even hit 3 enemies at once. Hey, with 1 heavy attack. 5-bolt fire. We even hit this enemy behind him. Then, because of the bleed prongs. There we go. So, this is not only a very cool build, but it's not only a status build, it's not only a crit build, it also seems to work as a heavy attack build. And there you have it. This is my Gunsen build. I do prefer build 1 more than build 2, but I do see the value in range a lot. So if you have range, you can just switch out. If you have a grouping enemy, like a grouping frame like Nidus with the Slava or Vauban, or even Kara with her snare, which is currently very popular, you can use the first build. If you just like playing, as example, Sevagoth, and you build him for Gloom, like I did, then you probably want the range to hit all the slowed enemies. And with that, thank you guys for watching, and I see you guys in the next one.